Today we're at Lake Okeechobee down in Florida for the Top 100. This Pro-Am competition is fast becoming one of the most popular events on the Bassmaster tournament trail. It pairs the top 100 touring pros with 100 amateurs for 4 days of big money competition. You'll like the excitement. I'm Bob Cobb for the Bassmasters. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Introducing new Prime Plus Co-Filament, the only fishing line that guarantees you'll catch more fish. Prime Plus is a line within a line with a new, stronger outer shield and a tough, sensitive inner core. Sensitive to feel more fish. Stronger to hook and fight more fish. New clear Prime Plus Co-Filament, the line within a line. Now guaranteed, you'll catch more fish or your money back. New Prime Plus from DuPont.
They say this is where the big ones come for breakfast. They say this here spinner will have them jumping in the boat. Well, they convinced me. Now all they gotta do is convince the fish.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything else were as dependable as your Johnson outboard?
Welcome. Today's lesson's about one thing. Fish, and a new way to catch them. I'll spell it out. Sink, crow. Synchro, the new synchro drag reels from Abu Garcia. With the drag system so advanced, it's simple. When fighting a fish, just turn the handle back to instantly reduce drag more than 50%. Forward to return to preset. And what do you get? You get the idea.
Ambassador Synchro Drags, only from Abu Garcia.
The Top 100, a super bassing event that's become a premier competition on the B.A.S.S tournament trail. This unique tournament is a Pro-Am event, pitting the top 100 B.A.S.S pro anglers as they ranked at the end of the season against each other. The pros' boat partners are 100 amateurs who fish against each other. And the bucks are big. For the winning pros, $60,000. The winning amateur takes home a fully rigged bass boat valued at $15,000. This tournament format appeals to both the pros and amateurs for more than one reason. The amateurs, lucky enough to be selected in a random draw, get to fish 4 days with the top-ranked bass anglers in the world. Some of them consider it a 4-day guided fishing seminar. The pros like it because they use their boats, fish where they want to, and have control of the boat during the competition. The amateurs are not allowed to run the boat or fish from the front. The time is middle December here on Florida's huge Lake Okeechobee. A tropical disturbance that moved through earlier in the month left muddy water in several areas and moved the bass. Also, low water has eliminated many of the areas these pros plan to fish. But there are always bass to catch, and these anglers will find them. Missouri's Randy Mosley led after the first day, but that was yesterday.
John Hale in third place in a pro division. 3 pounds behind yesterday's leader. What do you have today? It's a big bag of bass. $14 pounds, 3 ounces, and I'm sure that pushes John up in the lead temporarily.
There's another angler in the top 10 who also makes a big move.
9th place, going into the day with 12 pounds, 9 ounces. I'm sure John Hale's watching. Biggest string today. Let's hear it for Mark Davis. 16 pounds, 8 ounces. Let's hold up a couple of big ones, Mark. Those are big bass, folks. With Mark holding them, they look a little small.
In any B.A.S.S event, there's more than one pattern that will catch bass. Some of the fish the anglers are catching are pre-spawners. Others are already on the beds. And some, like the bass Mark Davis has been pulling in, are in an area not usually fished by tournament anglers. This deep-water ditch, dubbed the Rim Canal, runs around a big area of Okeechobee.
thank you, Lord.
When Okeechobee is low, many of the bass move from the shallow flats into the deeper water rimmed canal.
These fish I'm catching seem to be coming in here due to the falling lake levels and all. These trees and a lot of laydowns and a lot of underwater cover heads you can't see is holding these fish. And I've beat them pretty hard now for 2 days. But it seems like there's more fish coming in daily. I've noticed that they're getting a lot harder to catch though. I'm changing lures and changing ways of fishing. I'm doing some flipping, I'm doing some casting, I'm doing some pitching. I'm throwing some crankbaits and just trying to change up and show them a lot of different ways. But I kind of think they're going to hold up for today for sure and possibly tomorrow.
Today's leader, John Hale, is fishing an entirely different pattern, opting to concentrate on pre-spawn and spawning bass in the weeds, grass, and bulrushes near Bird Island. And he's doing something a little different.
Most of the guys are using they're flipping these large worms because that's what they hear about down in Florida, but I've found that it's a little 6-inch straight curltail black neon has really been my best producer. In fact, I've caught every one of my fish on it except for one. I caught one on a black neon lizard. In fact, when I could see the fish on the beds, I'd even bite it off to a 4-incher, just kind of make sure that they got the hook in their mouth.
Regardless of the technique, catchin' is the name of this competition.
Shiners give this fish away. See them, a lot of them shiners jumping around. You don't bet that there's a nest right there. God, come on. That's 7 of them. And I'm proud of every one of them. I thank God for every one of them.
And we'll learn what John's 7 bass weigh when the Bassmasters return. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You know, in the last 20 years, there's been a lot of changes at Ranger. Safety has always been a priority, and today, Ranger is noted for its unmatched flotation features. We've changed interiors dramatically. Hull designs are now so advanced they're patented. And our latest innovation is a revolutionary all-fiberglass transom. There's one thing that hasn't changed, though, and that's our total commitment to quality and value. And you have my word on that.
You know, I really enjoy receiving letters from Bass members like Michael Watson of Illinois. He writes, Bassmaster magazine is the best fishing magazine I've ever read. Before I joined Bass, I had a hard time even catching bluegill. But now I have a hard time getting away from bass. You too can become a better bass fisherman by joining the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society. You'll learn the hottest lures and when to use them, how to choose line, fishing strategies for every season, and more in the pages of Bassmaster magazine, our society's official publication. As a member, you'll receive 10 big issues a year along with your own exclusive membership benefits, including this handsome embroidered patch, decal, membership card, and handbook. Plus, if you join during this special TV offer, I'll send you a big free bassing gift. It's a bonus tackle pack filled with a bushwhacker spinnerbait, a spool of Berkeley Trilene XT line, and a pack of Mann's auger tail worms. I'll also send you a free copy of Bassin' Magic, our best how-to book ever, a step-by-step guide to the basics of bass fishing, from topwater fishing to depth finders. You'll find everything you need to know to land the real big bass in this basics book. All this brand name tackle and book, a total value of $9.95, are free with your $15 paid membership. Here's all you have to do to join Bass and enjoy all these free gifts. Call toll-free 1-800-543-8000.
While the focus is on the pros, the amateurs are a big part of this tournament. and Alabama's Charlie Steele is a clear leader at this point. And now the leader from the pro ranks.
All right, John Hale, who, by the way, leads the tournament with 29 pounds and 10 ounces. Another limited bass. Folks, this man is going to pull out and lead this tournament again, it appears. Mark Davis, however, hasn't come in yet. He is in second place. And the weight, watch the scales, folks. I'll lead up. 11 pounds, 7 ounces. Mark it. 11.7. Hey, listen, can you tell us anything at all? You've got one more day. We want to hold up a few of these fish as we talk. What do you anticipate? Are you fishing different water?
No, I fished the same area for 3 days. It was the first day I had it all to myself, and started in yesterday. A couple of people are on the same area. A lot of local people come in today. I think there's got some kind of little club tournament, some kind of little tournament starting tomorrow. I'm looking for a lot of pressure tomorrow. It's got pretty crowded today. The fish was tougher. The bites were it was just really hard to scratch them out. I stuck most of the fish I stuck today. I put in the boat. I really only lost one fish I stuck, and it was a big one. I let it run. I had to let it run. It got into the bulrushes and snubbed itself up, and I went to get it, and it just had a dead pull when it wrapped up, and it just pulled the hook out. It was 6, 7, 8, 9 pound bass. I'm killing myself on these fish, so I don't know.
We wish you the best. One more day.
And now it's Mark's turn at the scales.
The number 2 man, Mark Davis, 29 pounds and 1 ounce. He was only 9 ounces off the lead. Big Mark had 29 pounds and 1 ounce through yesterday. Watch the scales, people. He may pull in the lead. Mark's a classic contender and a fine angler. Total weight, this will put him in the lead. 13 pounds, 11 ounces. All right. That is a tremendous. Would you mind reaching in here and pulling out a few of these bass and show the folks out there? Folks, he's done a fabulous job. He's moved into the lead without any doubt. Here are 2 of the fish he's got, but he has a total of a 300-pound man. You know, these bass don't look like they're 6-pounders, but they almost are. Mark, can you give me any idea? You think you can catch a limited bass tomorrow?
I'll tell you the truth. I didn't think that this little place I'm catching these fish that would hold up for 4 days, but I believe now.
What do you mean you didn't believe it'd hold up?
Well, yeah, I've caught probably 20 keepers off of it the first day. I've probably caught 15 yesterday, and I probably caught 7 or 8 today. And the boat traffic and numbers of boats around me is the only thing that's bothering me. There's plenty of fish there. It's just a matter of making them back. But without jinxing myself and saying for sure I can, I have a feeling they might hold up.
How big area is it?
It's a stretch. I'm gonna say it's 300 or 400 yards long, but not all of that's holding fish. There's just little areas on this stretch that's holding them, just really about an acre of it.
We'll have our television crew out tomorrow watching and see if you can pull it off.
Well, that'll be exciting.
All right, all the best to you. Good luck, Mark Davis. Thank you. Nice hand, folks. Mark Davis, a great angler.
The final day of the top 100, and the competition's tight. Arkansas's Mark Davis returns to his small area on the Rim Canal.
This lake's amazing. I've been sitting here on this tree now. This is the 4th day. I've probably caught 100 or 120 bass off this one tree, and probably have to catch 4 or 5 little ones to catch a keeper. But now and then you'll catch a pretty good fish. I caught one 7-pounder in practice off of it, and I turned her loose and I had to find her again. I'm still looking.
Mark leads, but he needs quality bass for a win.
That didn't help. Thank you, Lord.
Hale returns to his bulrushes and catches bass. But one angler who's absent from his favorite area this last day is Mississippi's Paul Elias. This former classic champ moved into 9th place the second day and into 7th place yesterday. Where he's gone fishing today is a mystery, but you can bet there'll be bass there. Stay tuned for the exciting finale of the Top 100. The Bassmasters will be right back.
Humminbird does it again. TCR, the first high-definition depth sounders. With 455 kilohertz, you actually see more fish in more detail, and even in red. Take control with 7 simple buttons. Just snap the TCR into place. This all-new unit design mounts almost anywhere, and the compact TCR sensor makes transducers obsolete. TCR, absolutely brilliant technology from Humminbird.
The final weigh-in. Charlie Steele is a clear winner in the amateur division. And now John Hale comes to the scales.
All right, here we go. Now, John Hale, folks, in second place with 41 pounds and 1 ounce. He needs 7 pounds and 15 ounces to pull into the lead. Drain that water, every bit of it out now. He needs how much, Bob? 7:15. He will take the lead away from Larry Nixon. And we're talking about big money. We're talking about a lot of money on this tournament. I was just reminded that first prize is $60,000 and second is way down from that. So this could be a $40,000 weigh-in. All right, watch the scales. He's pulled back in the lead, 10 pounds and 1 ounce. John Hale.
It's time for the leader to weigh in. But there's a fisherman in line with a bag of bass the other anglers are watching. Paul Elias.
It takes 8-7 for you to take the lead back. Watch the scales. Not enough. 7 pounds and 10 ounces, mark it. Folks, that's so close. That's a $35,000. That's about, really, if you add it up, that's about $10,000 a pound. That's what it costs. What could have happened?
Well, I was fishing the Rim Canal, Ray, and I got a lot of big boats running through today. You know, it's Saturday, and folks are out enjoying this pretty weather and all, and that really hurt my fishing. I might have got a little bit too conservative, but I've been catching all my big fish with a jig, and I caught one little fish today on a jig was all, and that had been what was really pulling me through this thing, and it let me down today. And I just scratched around, and I had that 7th fish on I don't know how many times and never put her in the boat.
The tension builds here as this angler comes to the scales.
Oh, don't be dipping it. Paul Elias, folks, is in there. He's in 7th place, 35 pounds and 1 ounce, and he may well take this lead. It's a possibility. He needs 16 pounds and 2 ounces to take the lead. I got a feeling let's weigh him. We got a new leader, 18 pounds and 5 ounces. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. I tell you, Ray, I want to win this thing more than anything in the world, but I don't deserve to. I fished terrible today. I was in a lot of fish, and
hold up a couple of them while you tell us about it. Listen, folks, this is incredible. Coming down from 7th place now. This shows you what can be done on Lake Okeechobee. Paul Elias. He's one of our classic champions of the past, in the all-time winning crowd of our tournament trail. He's the new leader unless somebody else. We've got Lonnie Stanley and some others to come in. But at the moment, we have a new leader. Yeah, let's weigh him, by all means. Well,
every time I'd lose one, I'd say, Paul, you big dummy, there goes 50 grand. I couldn't stand it. I don't know what I was doing wrong.
Weigh that big fish. Let's weigh his biggest fish and see what his 7 bass Creo did for him. Big bass, and this puts you over the top. 5 pounds and 3 ounces. That was a $50,000 bass.
That was my 5th fish today. I tell you, I caught 6 fish where I'd been fishing.
Hold him up. Let him hold it. Look at that fish and kiss it and caress it. All right, watch this, folks. I love it. $50,000 worth of fish, all out of Lake Okeechobee. Is that enough shots for you? All right. Listen, we want to ask you one quick question. We'll take a second, but while we're on camera and you feeling high as a Georgia pine, what in the world did you do today? I mean, you were down there, you're in the jungles. You're down in 7th place, in reach, but still 7 pounds, and that's a tough route in this lake. What did you do? Tell me what happened.
Well, Ray, I found an area the second day. I kind of messed up the first day. I only caught 4 fish. I was trying to fish for big fish, and I caught 4 that weighed 8.5 pounds. And I went back the next day and just figured I needed to catch me about 12 pounds a day, and I caught 13 pounds the next 2 days. That area kind of messed up on me today. Well, it didn't. I caught that 5-pounder and 5 other fish. But I had an area that I was waiting on some wind, and we had some wind this morning, and because I'd found it before the cutoff, and there was some good fish in there. And so I went in there while the wind was still blowing, and they were in there good. I probably should have been in there all week.
Boy, let's give a nice hand, folks. Here's our new champion right here. All right, good luck to you, Paul Elias.
Most of the top contenders have weighed in, but the time remaining is filled with tension for Paul Elias because he knows it's never over till it's over. But now, it's over.
Our winner, and not a big surprise, from Laurel, Mississippi, Paul Elias. Let's bring him up, folks. Paul, I got it. Here is your plaque for the top 100 Super Bass Pro-Am tournament here on Lake Okeechobee. I know you're as proud of that as you can be, particularly coming from the ashes almost.
I tell you, Ray, it's been a long time coming. It's been 5 years since I won one of these things, and I came awful close to the Classic a couple years in a row, and I just was wondering, it was going through a mental deal there whether I was going to ever win one again. So at least I got over that. So praise the Lord.
And how did Paul find his $60,000 bag of bass?
I found these fish before the cutoff. I came down here and fished with a friend of mine for 2 or 3 days, and we had that major storm blow in from the Gulf over there, and the fish kind of turned on the day before that storm came, you know, and I found them in this area in the pads, but virtually what seemed to be the key to the pattern was like this area over here, we got thicker pads with hydrilla growing in it. And this section of pads right here doesn't have any hydrilla. It's got a little bit of eelgrass mixed in, but there was some clumps of floating hydrilla and cabbage matted up in these pads. And that we caught some real good fish underneath those mats because you could drop your lure down through it and then it was open water and the fish were under there shading and stuff and hiding. But the storm blew all that stuff out of this patch of pads. So I lost a little confidence in it, but came over here and practiced and we didn't have much wind. I got a few bites, but I felt like the fish were here, but I thought it was going to take wind to catch them. So I waited till the last day. I found a good area of fish somewhere else, and I fished them for 3.5 days. And the last day, the wind got up, and once I felt like those fish had died over there, I came over here, and it paid off.
Well, you were running straight across the lake every day by compass, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, Chuck, and if it hadn't been for that compass, I couldn't have ever got over here.
Fog.
And yeah, the fog, the last day, the fog was so ridiculous, it would have probably taken me 2 hours to get here. You know, but it worked out. I had a compass reading on the area, and I just had to believe in the compass and held true, you know, and I came right in on the area. So there's no way to, all these major lakes that we fish, a man's foolish not to have a compass on his boat. And he's foolish not to go ahead and get his compass readings during practice and make sure he's going to be able to come out and get to his area, you know, in case we do have thick fog one morning.
Get him, Eli. Good one?
Right now it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters, brought to you by AC Delco.
I really believe that one of the things that entitled me to win this tournament was the use of a worm rattle in the head of my plastic worm. A lot of people don't use these things, and they're very important, especially, I found, especially around grass fish. And basically all you have to do is take the point of your hook and insert it about a ½ inch from the head of the worm and make a little channel for the rattle. Then take the rattle, which already has a point, and stick it right into the little channel you made, and then use your hook to go ahead and insert it down into the worm. Then just take your worm and rig it regular Texas style. Bring the point of the hook out just above the rattle, work it up, and bring it back in. That way you've got the rattle in between the point of your hook and the head of your worm. Rig your worm like this and you'll catch a whole bunch more fish. You know, most people when worm fishing use the traditional bullet-shaped weight. Well, there's another weight on the market made by Water Gremlin called a needle nose weight. And this weight, when fishing vegetation, any kind of thick grass or lily pads or anything like that, comes through the vegetation a whole lot easier. It entitles you to get more bites. Anytime that you can work your weight through the vegetation and not yanking on the vegetation all the time because your weight's hanging up, you're going to get more strikes. These weights come in the same sizes as the traditional bullet-shaped weight, and you need to adapt the size weight that you're fishing with to the conditions that you're fishing in. Try the needle nose weight. It'll catch you a lot more fish.
When it comes to fishing, everything's got to be just right, from what goes on the end of my line to what goes in the bottom of my boat. For me, that's Delco Voyager batteries with built-in charge indicators. Deep cycling and high cranking the whole time I'm out.
Delco Voyager batteries. Deep cycling, high cranking.
No other batteries get on board my boat. For the AC Delco retailer nearest you, just give me a call at 1-800-AC-DELCO.
A great win for Paul Elias, and he sure deserved it. Now next week, we'll be up in northern Florida for some big bass angling. And you'll see it all, from the strike to the release. For the Bassmasters, I'm Bob Cobb. Hope to see you all next week.
The Bassmasters has been brought to you by DuPont Power Lines, Stren, Prime Plus, and new Magnathin and Magnum 1440. Johnson Outboards. Wouldn't it be nice if everything else were as dependable as your Johnson outboard? Abu Garcia, world's finest fishing tackle. Ranger Boats, we still build them one at a time. Humminbird, absolutely brilliant technology. AC Delco, automotive parts that don't just fit, they match. And the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society, the world's largest fishing society.